As I'm learning how to be an instructor and dealing with clients, I don't think they realize we have nerve endings too. No matter how hard your opponent gets, just remember it's always play. Becoming more resilient to my mind telling me quit, stop, this is getting nuts, don't do this anymore. The actual resilience, that callous you get, numbs all of the emotions telling you to stop. Again, going back to not being comfortable, you're going to be uncomfortable. I had to develop a natural operating procedure when someone would walk in. What do I do? What do I say? How do I greet them? What's my sales tactic like? And all that I'm still developing. I'm still getting comfortable. I'm more comfortable now than I ever was. You are on a sinking ship and you're bailing water. Every month that your bailing bucket gets bigger and bigger before you're finally afloat. It will cripple you. It will make you feel like I can't do this anymore. Should I get a side job? Should I do this? Knowing that you did all this moving, you did all this work, you can't quit now.
This is where the journey of expanding empires in real estate, small business, and life unfolds. Join me for insightful conversations with industry leaders uncovering the strategies from overcoming setbacks to celebrating triumphs in business and life. This podcast is your guide through the roller coaster of entrepreneurial life. Whether you're navigating the challenges of small business or conquering the world of real estate, here is your empire. Welcome to Empire Expanders.
Hello out there, Empire Expanders. Today we have my buddy Bobby on here. Bobby owns a Krav Maga studio down in Alabama. He went from having a 9-to-5 job and doing a welding side gig and said, you know what? I'm going to move to Alabama. I'm going to start a Krav Maga studio. And I'm going to be successful doing it. Talk about someone who's going to live his dream and follow his dream. How many of us have the confidence to say, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make it happen. This guy does. So let's welcome Bobby. What's up, dude?
Hey, how's it going?
One part about running a fitness club / Krav Maga studio is you sore all the time, huh?
Always sore. Always. And I was getting beat on.
Aren't you the guy who's supposed to be like...
I don't think students think, as I'm learning how to be an instructor and dealing with clients, I don't think they realize we have nerve endings too.
True. At least you're not getting burned all the time. I was a welder too for quite some time, and I remember setting myself on fire many times. One time in particular, I remember I had my pants on fire and I could feel the heat on my leg, but I was laying down a nice weld. I wasn't stopping that weld. Get some slag in that weld. I'm like, no, I'm not going to stop this weld. Finish the weld, and then put my pants out.
Stick welding? Yep, they'll do it to you.
You don't want that puddle. You don't want the slide to go back in that puddle.
No, not at all. I remember those days.
I don't. Or a piece of slag ends up somewhere on you and you just can't get it out from under your shirt and you just have to deal with it.
And you can't move. You have to freeze because if you move, that hot slag is going to keep rolling down and it's going to right down to the ground and it's going to be in your pants, rolling all the way down your leg. And you just want to freeze before it gets into your boot.
Yep. Oh, God. The good old days of welding. It's interesting. We both did that. Man, so how's it going down in Alabama?
It's going really well. I just got back from Midtown. That's Memphis, Tennessee. Did an awesome training session over there. Met some really cool people. Trained at a really awesome Krav Maga studio. And always learning. You always have to be learning. That was my goal. Pick something up, learn something, maybe just become a student again.
Yeah.
Big change.
That's pretty much everything we always have to do, no matter where we are in life or what we're doing, is we're continuously learning. Like you're running the studio. You're the big dog. You're the head, but you got to continue to grow. And I love that you go into other studios to learn other techniques, get better, refine your techniques. What type of stuff do they teach you up there?
So the name of the studio, I'll give them a shout out. Midtown Krav Maga. They do Krav Maga, I believe it was Alliance, and they were very strong in their BJJ game. Very strong. Where from up north, up Force, it's when I was attending that school, they're a very strong standing striking game. So it was a flip, literally, and we're on the ground, and it changes the whole mentality of it, and I love it.
So they more were trying to get you to the ground as quick as possible.
They were more comfortable. I felt as if it was more comfortable on the ground. Every student, novice to experienced, everyone was ready to. If you hit the ground, you're getting locked up. You're getting maneuvered really easy. This is crazy.
That's really cool. I love how you can have the same type of martial art, but taught different ways because it can be done different ways. It's a self-defense.
Right.
So how are you comfortable in your self-defense and how are you going to do it? So,
Yep.
you know what? I mentioned I do Krav Maga because that's how I know you. And everybody else that doesn't know that, but yeah, we trained in Krav Maga together for quite a while, and Bobby beat me up for quite a while, and then he moved away. That's the only reason he stopped beating me up. So that was nice. He nicely beat me up. It was nice.
Very
I had
flattering.
padding on. Good time. By that I mean we sparred, and sparring is fun. Sparring is light touch fighting, basically,
Sure.
with rules.
Light touch.
And yeah, play touch. If you are sparring with someone you trust, sparring is fun because I know, although Bobby may hit me, Bobby's not going to hurt me because Bobby has control over his punches. So he's not hitting me full force like a UFC fighter when he hits me. I'm not kicking him full force like a UFC fighter when I'm kicking him. That's the type of
Oh,
beating up
I
Bobby
felt
did.
some sidekicks from hell, and that was fun.
You walked into him, man.
There's a thing they say out in Thailand when they're teaching their students the art of Muay Thai is no matter how hard your opponent gets, just remember it's always play. And I bring that aspect into my gym. I was like, we're only playing. If we strike hard by accident, it's play. Don't let it get into your head.
Yeah. I always try to apologize when I do hit someone too hard on something or I walk into it or I'm like, sorry, you good? Because I want them to know that I'm not trying to hit hard. Just sometimes both sides, you throw a punch and they have me in the wrong place, or same thing, like I'll be charging in while you're throwing a punch and it's going to hit me hard because I ran into your fist with my face, which is probably not what I'm supposed to be doing. Yeah. So for the people out there right now, I bet there's some people going, what the hell are they talking about? What is this Krav Maga stuff? Do me a
Right?
favor. Let them know. What is this Krav Maga stuff we do? What's it about?
It's an Israeli self-defense. I shy away from calling it a martial art, as well as any Krav Maga student would shy away from. And we literally teach you how to handle yourself on the streets. We teach you ways to get out of certain situations, be it being pinned by your hair, grabbed from your shirt, threatened, abducted into an area that you don't want to go to. And at the same time, we're teaching you how to strike. My school, where we're teaching you a little more Muay Thai, a little more boxing, some American style kickboxing, and introducing very soon BJJ.
Cool. So very rounded style that borrows from many other styles out there
Carl.
right now. Cool. So you worked a 9 to 5 for quite a while, as we talked about, and then you decided to start your own welding thing on the side. What made you decide to do that?
I liked my shop teacher would tell me, how much money do you want in your pocket? Do you want $10 in your pocket, or do you want $100 in your pocket? And the travel of, that's a proper word, working for the man, it's not gonna get you $100 in your pocket, or at least the money that you'd like. And grass is always greener, so I said, you know what? Let me go try it out. And I did some side jobs to start, and it picked up very well. So the first side jobs were scary, but um, it definitely gave me the thirst to become a 1099 kind of guy. Sure.
Didn't you have a fun side story about a plow at one point when it comes to welding?
The old plow truck, my first time doing my first side gig ever. It was me and another buddy. I just introduced myself into what welding, didn't have any of my own tools, borrowed every single welding tool I can get my hands on, built in the back of a F-150, drove it to some dude's house, and fixed a rusty plow truck. We took the whole bed off of it. We repaired the frame, put the bed back on with two dudes lifting a bed. It was absolutely scary. I realized we didn't have the proper tools, so we had to drive back out for another 45 minutes, drive back another 45 minutes with more tools. And we literally made, for the entire job, God, it had to be something like $200 or $250. And we laughed after we were done. We were spent. The guy was happy. The customer was absolutely happy. It was good for him, bad for me. But it was a lesson learned. You have to go through those lessons.
Yeah, it's funny how often in every industry, in the beginning, we work to learn and then we work to earn. Sometimes on purpose, sometimes not on purpose. Like you work to learn there. You learned many things: how to charge, the tools to bring, the equipment, and things like that. You didn't know you were working to learn, especially after you calculate everything. Went, oh crap! But you were, and sometimes you take steps forward in your business. Sometimes you take steps sideways. Sometimes you just learn and don't go forward at all. I've taken many of those. If my coach was telling me about that and he made a diagram, I was like, oh, that makes sense, because he just had a guy. He goes, you don't go just foot forward. Sometimes you go left, up, backwards, diagonal this way, diagonal that way. That makes more sense about my entrepreneur career, where sometimes I just learn and I'm like, no, I don't like that. I'm going to go the other way. That way did not work.
So many of those when you're owning a business for the first time. I don't care. You could have someone holding your hand the entire time, but you're gonna hit those points, those hard learning lessons. That's when you separate yourself from starting out and being comfortable.
And a lesson for me was the fact that I thought that was a waste before. Oh crap, I just wasted a month, a year, $1,000, whatever it was. But then I realized it's not a waste, it's a learning to a point, right? I learned I don't like that. That's not the direction I go. And learned this is what I like, this is where I go. It's a little bit of discovery. There's no real entrepreneur. Typically, there's a few that bend the rules, will go straight forward and say, this is exactly my path. I'm going directly down this path. I never deviate from this path. I've never made a mistake.
Yep.
They go different directions. They do different things. Bobby was doing welding. Now Bobby's doing martial arts. That's two completely different paths. But welding helped him learn about business, which is helping him here. So it's not the fact that all that was a waste. He learned things from that. And now he's running a successful martial arts studio.
Absolutely.
So
I would say, oh, go on.
You go.
Oh, I was going to say one of the things, because you just said going from welding to a martial arts school, that's not even a yin and yang. That's on two different sides of the world at that point. And the actual learning lessons there were, yeah, being a business owner, but learning how to fail and being comfortable failing. That was a huge, you could take that. If you could learn to fail in something and learn to succeed from your failure, that's a huge win in starting any business, really. Being comfortable in it.
As a business owner, Bob, will you fail in every business you start?
You definitely get in your head and think you are. That's for sure. You only fail when you got to close the key and lock the door against your will.
Yeah. I'd say that's stopping fail. There's other mistakes. There's failures and mistakes that happen along the way that we're going to make all the time. Oops, screwed that up. Oops, spent that money wrong. Oops, lost that client. That's a failure too.
We don't fail, we learn.
Yeah. There's a podcast I was at. My coach actually coached me on his podcast, the Get Out of Your Way podcast. And he did a live coaching session with me, and fear of failure was the thing I was talking about. And he actually broke me down. He's like, you don't fear of failure, you have fear of quitting, because you don't fail until you quit. So if you're not going to quit, then you can't fail.
Can't fail.
Like, oh man, you just took that, flipped it on its side and turned it upside down, and now I'm all sorts of backwards, and I love it. So we're going to take that now and talk about not quitting means you're not failing. Black belt Bobby, you took a black belt test last year. We're not going to talk about the test itself. The test itself is a secret, guys. It's a 3-month test. You have 3 4 to 5 hour long tests you have to go through. Plus you have testing every week. Basically, it's not a test, but you have to be there every week for many hours. And it's brutal. I was there with Bobby for some of it. I was helping. I was not testing. I will be testing next year for my black belt. And it's as much mental as physical, watching them go through that thing. We're not going to talk about the actual process, but tell me mentally failing and struggling through and persistence. Tell me a little bit about that, and then tell me how it translates to business.
It definitely feels like it was last year, but I think it was the mid 2022, towards the end of 2022.
It's been 2 years. Oh yeah, it has.
We're approaching 2 years from that. It's wild. But no, the big thing you get out of big thing I got out of my journey to get my black belt was becoming more resilient to my mind telling me, quit, stop, this is getting nuts, don't do this anymore. The actual resilience, that callus you get, numbs all of the emotions telling you to stop. And again, going back to not being comfortable, you're going to be uncomfortable, especially during black belt. You will be uncomfortable, and they're going to remind you. Tanya, our instructor, everyone doesn't know, and possibly other black belt students who already have their black belt will remind you, embrace the suck. And that's a huge part of starting something on your own and not having the comfort level. It's just you got to embrace the suck and become comfortable. I know that's a hot word today, but honestly, that's what it is.
Testing is happening right now. We're taping this in March,
I
and
saw.
black belt testing in my school is happening right now. I have friends going through it, and everyone out there is my friends going through it. You're amazing. I'm going to help again this year, which is an honor that they let me keep doing that. I was supposed to test this year, but I scheduled vacations and work stuff,
Yep.
being dumb and not paying attention. So next year I'll test. But when we're looking at this testing, what I look at is the fortitude you had to go through and the not stopping when things get hard, very hard, translates to small business, because everyone I've talked to, a lot of people starting small businesses, and I've started several small businesses now. I'm starting another one right now, which is Salary to Stay, which is a coaching program to help people start, run, and operate short-term rentals at a high magnitude. And it's hard in the beginning. There's a lot of things pushing back on you saying, hey, it'd be easier not to do this. You see your bank account draining because money's going down when you start a business. There's no revenue coming in the beginning. And you're going, is this right? Am I going the right direction? Is this going to work? All those doubts are there. Just, can I do that other push-up? Can I make this run in the 8 minutes? Can I do whatever else is next that's on whatever they're asking you to do?
Yep.
The same type of things. The mental aspect of it is there when starting businesses. That's why I think it's a really nice transition between the two, because you were actually trained to help with a small business during a black belt test.
Yeah. There's actually another component to black belt that translates very well into becoming an entrepreneur in your area of expertise, be it whatever job you want to pick up or whatever small business you want to start, is you have to surround yourself in a good community. We had a lot of awesome candidates when I went through, and we literally had to support each other to get through to achieve our goal. And I find that surrounding myself with like-minded individuals as I'm doing my martial arts training, as I'm joining local groups, local organizations in Alabama, has really helped me along meet my goal of being a entrepreneur, being a person who's doing his own thing. It's an incredibly powerful thing to have people support you.
Yeah, people around you can lift you up, or they can pull you down, like the crabs in a bucket. You ever see that one crab trying to get in a bucket and all the other crabs just pull him back in the bucket?
Oh,
Yeah, watch a video on that. That can happen. The people can help you, or they can be anchors. And that's the hardest thing, is if you realize someone you cared about before is now an anchor in your life because you've changed, or you're trying to be something different, and what you have to do, or the conversations you have to have because of that. And you surround yourself, your black belt test was a whole lot of amazing people that you all work together, you lift each other up, and it's just, God, made me well up with tears watching you guys with
was a
all the
family.
camaraderie you had, especially at the end. Wow. Now I'm getting the chills thinking about that. So before I start crying on here,
Yeah, don't cry.
let's switch directions, all right? So you moved down to Alabama. Tell me about that. You say, I'm going to go to Alabama. I'm going to start a studio. Let's go.
Yep. Followed my amazing girlfriend down to Alabama. Shout out to Storm. She was literally the first step I took across that bridge to starting even thinking about opening up my own business. We drove around in her car for hours looking for spots, looking for locations to open up, not knowing the area, going off of what she knows for her local guide ish in a new area for her as well. And found a little spot, turnkey 1 month later, after a lot of work and a lot of reno in that building. 1 month, and we were open up for business January 1. So we landed we called it Operation Mayflower, where we landed here in Alabama on Thanksgiving. And the entire month of December was gutting and working. And January 1, we started the business. We opened it up. We opened doors.
First day of
Fast.
opening the doors, how'd that feel?
I slept very good that night.
Yeah.
If that says anything, we had 2 or 3 people come in, and I was still in black belt kill mode, and I scared a lot of clients away. I had to learn to dial back. Come on, let's go. 100 push-ups. This is nothing. Let's go. And very Sergeant Slaughter. And eventually, I found my calling. I found my niche on how to work with clients who are new to this, and I had to recognize they are new to this. Fit as some of my clients look, they are new to this. And don't be.
I appreciate the WWE reference there, or WWF at the time, I think it was, when he was
Yeah,
around. Yeah, it's hard sometimes. You're like, this is how things are going to go. And then you realize what your avatar is. And you're like, oh, wait, my avatar needs this. And you have to morph yourself or work a little bit to work with your avatar. Most people, when they start, they're a mix of excitement and scared. So is that kind of you on the first day? Like jittery? Is it going to happen? Am I scared? People are going to come? What's going to go on?
yeah. You don't have an SOP, which is your standing operating procedure when someone first walks into the door. That comes with time. At least for me, I had to develop a natural operating procedure when someone was walk in. What do I do? What do I say? How do I greet them? What's my sales tactic? And all that I'm still developing. I'm still getting comfortable. I'm more comfortable now than I ever was, which is awesome, which means I'm growing, I'm learning. But day one, you forget the reason when someone walks into the building, you want to remember their mindset is they want to spend money. It's like going into a store, Walmart, Target, whatever. Their mindset's spending money, and you have to remember they're trying you out. And I had to get that over my head. Be comfortable. Let them just and let things naturally happen and not push it. It was a huge learning curve for me.
Yeah, crazy. So that's one of the learning curves in the beginning. Give me some more, man. Starting a business, what are the ups and downs that you run into? What
Capital.
mentally visit?
Capital
I
gets in your head big time. Beginning of every month, you are on a sinking ship and you're bailing water. And every month that your bailing bucket gets bigger and bigger before you're finally afloat. That is the hardest mind F to get over. It will cripple you. It will make you feel like I can't do this anymore. What is next month going to look like? Should I get a side job? Should I do this? Oh, the nightmares. Ridiculous on that.
so what kept
Kind
you
of
going when you were looking at that?
black
When you
belt,
took the black belt?
resilience, knowing that you did all this moving, you did all this work, you can't quit now. Keep going till the landlord says, "Hey, where's my money?" I'll keep going. Let's burn it down to the ground. Hopefully, he's not listening.
I don't think he's one of my subscribers yet, but
Yeah,
we'll get him. I just
yeah.
say if it wasn't something that was on your path that you cared about, then you may have let it burn down. But it's something that you truly believe in. It's your passion. And that really separates things a lot for people, business owners. We're like, you know what? This is my passion. I'm going. I don't give crap. This is going to
Mhm,
work. My bank account's going down. I don't care. This is going to
mhm.
work.
Saying no is one of the scariest things to learn as a business owner. Is telling a client no. Whew, it is a godsend and a curse at the same time. I can't believe I'm going to do this. I'm going to say no. And next thing you know, they're either okay with it or you realize you're better off without. And those are the two consequences usually that happens. And we have to get over it. As a business owner, I can't, once I put a model in place, I can't adjust my model too much to an extent. I can grow. I have the ability to grow, but letting clientele create time slots and taking away from my time to relax and unwind and study and create good content for my students hurts the business overall. And that was one of my reasons why I've had to say no in the past for a few times.
I love that you learned that so fast. It took me years and it took me mental health because I just burnt myself out and was unhappy and for a while because I was always a yes man when it was real estate agency. It was sure, yep, I can show you the house. Sure, yeah, I'll take this call at 10 o'clock at night. And you just hate your life because like your phone's constantly ringing, you don't have any time off. And if you don't unplug, you can't spend any time with yourself. Yeah, you get half an hour here and there, but trust me, that does not add up to time away to make it so you're happy and you're meeting your mental needs and your physical needs, as in working out, taking a walk, spending time by yourself, all those type of things, spending time with your family, your friends,
Mhm.
having fun. Bobby could easily be like, hey, I'm starting a new business. I know I'm supposed to go to the movies, but this one guy wants a private session. I'm not going to movies with my girl because I'm going to do this private session. Do that
Been there.
enough, and Bobby's going to hate himself. Yeah. Yep. But it's good for you to actually get to that point so quickly. You know what? this is going to work anyways. I need to make sure I'm happy in my life too, because a lot of us
Right.
build our life around a business, and what we got to do. I had a conversation with a friend about this last week. Is he's starting a business, and he's, I don't know if I like the business. I'm like, do you not like business? Do you not like where you sit in the business? Because this is a new business. You can design this business any way you want. So you can design where you sit in this business and what you do, and then design your life. Then design how the business is going to fit in your life, which is something I didn't know for a long time, and now I've learned. You learned it much quicker than me in the entrepreneur space. It took me years. It took you months. I guess I should have learned from you back in the day. You
No,
should have been an
no.
entrepreneur first, dude. Help me out.
Just again, being comfortable making mistakes is part of it. And sometimes who what I supposed to know known that saying no was the right thing to say until after saying it. I'm going out I'm gonna purposely make a mistake and just see what happens. And it turned out to be a win. It was awesome.
Good.
Mhm.
I, for martial arts studios especially, I believe the culture will attract or push away people. I know the places I went to, USA Karate in Cordova was where I started, and I went there because it was a family atmosphere. Sorry, can't talk. And then Force and
Yep.
Holden that I go to now. I walked in, I was like, oh, this is what I was looking for. I want a family. I want a craft family where I can go there. I give people hugs. I'm happy to see them and stuff like that. And that's what I'm looking for in a gym. Some people look for a gym where just I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna kick ass and I'm gonna leave. That's cool too. It just wasn't what I was looking for.
Right.
So Bobby knows what his atmosphere is looking for, and if you don't fit that, it's a no, which
And
is
that
cool.
goes into market. That's your market. That's the market I wanted to create. Was that exactly what you like? You put the nail or hit the nail right in the head. Was there are gyms out there that you said they just you go into kill mode, and there are other gyms you go in and it's that family atmosphere and can't cater to both. I guess you could, but
Yeah,
some people want that home away from home. Some people want that don't talk to me. And some gyms pivot more directions, more one way than the other.
yeah. Both gyms are good. Both gyms work, just for the right people.
Mhm.
Like I don't need to be an MMA fighter in a cage, so I don't want that kill mode gym. But if you want to be that type of person that's fighting in a cage and stuff like that, the family atmosphere gym probably won't work for you. You'll never get there.
Right.
But I want to talk about a story you told me last time we talked, because
Yeah.
I think it's a big growth moment for you as a person and a business owner. You got gym stormed at one point. Before you talk about the story, do me a favor, tell everybody out there what a gym storm is, and then tell that story because I liked how much growth it showed from you.
So dojo storming, it's an old school thing that gyms would do to another gym, and would either go in there, challenge a gym owner, challenge something about the gym, or challenge the students, or even try to poach students and bring them over to their side, their gym, which is both are real cruddy ways of doing things. You should be able to tell the difference if you're being JoJo stormed or if you're just visiting. And prime example is going to visit to go train and become a better individual versus going there to try to steamroll over students that you don't know. Had a local gym show up to my studio, uh, and I had to keep reminding them they're white belts. This is for my BJJ students, and they were white belt BJJ students, and started off fairly innocent. It was around Christmas time. I was sitting in there decorating a Christmas tree, as you do, and next thing I hear is they were sales pitching my students. What? And I was literally on the fence of just asking them to leave. And another side step for you. Didn't really talk to me very much, but wanted to talk to my students as the owner, and was thought that was really strange. Hey, I invited you in my gym. How are you? And it was eyes on me at one point, and then gone. They're doing their thing. I'll just be over here, have fun. But at the end of this whole session, my student came up to me, and she says, "I'm not going over there. I would never go over there. This place is home. This place is fun to me. This is what I signed up for." And at that moment, I knew I found I created my market that I wanted to create. I knew that was a challenge. That was a test to see where my dream was and where it is. And it was right there. These students didn't bend. to that onslaught of the other school, I guess.
The universe does strange things to test us sometimes. And I think that's what happened to you. It was like, hey, Bobby's grown. Let's see if you can pass the test. And yeah, you could have easily gone over there and be like, dude, what's up? You want to throw down? Let's throw down. Or get the hell out. But you were like, all right, have fun. I trust my students. I trust my program. I trust my environment. If they're right to stay here, they're going to stay here. And that person embarrassed themselves. Plus, if they're going to do something like that, they clearly are having some issues with their business right now, because that is a desperate move
It
to go
was
to that.
a very big gym, very big gym
Wow.
when they did that. Yeah, I
I'm
was very
surprised.
shocked, but you know what? It is test passed, and go from there.
Yeah. So where did your gym look like today? It's been, how long have you been open?
I've been open for just past a year in January. Yeah, over a year now,
Nice.
and I'm just about comfortably in the black now, as far as numbers go, which is awesome. I know it's tiny gym stature, but I'm at 44 members now, and it's huge growth for me. Actually, last weekend when I went out to Memphis, Tennessee, I was really relaxed the entire time. So it's been a while since I felt chilled, So that was awesome.
That's awesome, man. The first year is the hardest, starting any business. You got to get all your systems in place. You have to figure out who you are. You have to figure who the business is around you. You have to figure out everything. And now you're more
Absolutely.
comfortable. Now you know your programs. Like you had to figure out an entire program out, what you're going to teach it, what each belt learns, what each belt has to test on, what your belt structure is, what your pricing structure is. And that sometimes new, we have a tendency to be like, I just want someone in the door. Pay me whatever you want. But you have to realize I'm worth more than
Absolutely.
that. It's really hard in the beginning. So
Absolutely.
yeah,
Growing pains, a lot of if there are any gym owners listening, take your time picking your CRM software, your customer relationship management tools. Take your time. If you're going to choose to hire a marketing company, be very cautious in what they offer. Maybe ask other gyms in your local area what they're doing for marketing and go from there and ask within your local community. Just don't willy-nilly pick any random marketing company that's giving you snake oil, and lots of those little learning curves that gym owners will learn big time.
you are not an easy industry. I don't know what the failure rate is on martial arts and self-defense gyms are, but it's got to be high.
It's a scary world. You look at gyms that just opened up and they do dumbbells and benching, all of your basic gym. When I say gym, actual lifting gym, treadmills, your standard gym. And I look at it and I go, all that person does is open up the door and members walk in and they work out themselves. Man, that does sound easy, but then I'm like, there's gotta be something on the other side of that fence that I'm not seeing over there. There's gotta be something sketchy, something scary.
Easy and fulfilling are two different things.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think you'd be happy doing that, man.
No, I actually would probably open up a boxing ring in the back corner and be like, anyone wants to fight? Who wants to learn how to box?
I'm bored. Who wants to fight?
Yeah.
Then you'd be back to a martial arts gym again.
Yeah,
For
there we go.
self-defense.
Gotta move these
And then,
dumbbells out of the way.
yeah. All of a sudden, there's no dumbbells left, and then you just have a mat down. You're like, what happened? How did this happen? Back to the self-defense gym.
Yep.
All right, let's work our way towards. I ask a couple questions at the end typically.
Yeah.
The biggest question I ask is one kind of big thing. You gave a bunch of nuggets here for the entrepreneurs, because this is all about helping the entrepreneur who's struggling right now. And you just went through your first year, which is the hardest year. There's a lot of people that are listening that are going through their first year or just starting their business. Biggest piece of advice you'd give someone in the entrepreneur world right now?
Oh, there's so many. There's so many. There's so many
You
that's
can
running through my
I'll
head
go
right now.
top three.
I'll give a
How's that?
few. I'll top three.
Okay.
Don't be scared. Obviously, you're not scared if you're opening up your own facility already and you're committed. But if you're looking and you're excited about it and you want to do it, don't be scared. Just go and do it. What's the worst that's going to happen? Money goes. It's the worst thing you could say to someone. But at the end of the day, it's exactly that. It comes and goes. Second one is, which I've already touched basis a little bit on, is surround yourself in a strong community. If you're leaving, for me, example, I left welding world, right? And I entered the martial arts world. Surround yourself with like-minded entrepreneurs, small businesses, share resources, use that to create your kingdom. Because at the end of the day, it's a small world if you open up a local business, and you're going to meet everybody. Talk to them. You never know who might be a strong advocate, a strong helper in your journey. I have a few I talk to, and sometimes they become really good friends, which is, if you're new to the area, that helps too. Having a socialness, having a social outlet. And dumb to say it, but be smart with your capital. Plan your capital and how you spend it. It's your money. Don't just give it away because someone asked for it with promises. Be smart with your capital. It's the easiest thing to say. If I give you this X amount of money, you're going to promise me this. It's so easy to be like, that's a cheat code. There are no cheat codes.
Okay. Second to last question. Who's better at Pac-Man, you or your lady?
I am. Hands
You are?
down. Mrs. Pac-Man
Okay.
all day long.
If I asked her that same thing?
Yeah, oh yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. Just
Mrs.
wondering. I've been looking at the background. I'm like, I don't know who plays that better.
That's my go-to. Now, you team me or Storm, my girlfriend, up in an old school arcade. We'll lock in on Tron. We love Tron. And
I don't
we'll
know when
just
I
beat
played the last time I played old school Tron was. I don't even know what it looks like. I don't think anymore.
free play in your area. Check it out. Have fun.
Yeah. There's a bar in Worcester that has old games in it. You have to
Free
pay
play.
cover. That's what free play? I was there a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
It was interesting. I was like,
Love it.
I remember all these games. And my childhood is back.
Oh,
Yay. Turtles in Time.
love it.
4-player X-Men. Yay. Or was it 5? I don't know. Okay. Before going down a rabbit hole when it comes to video
Yeah.
games, and we have another hour-long podcast here, tell people where you are, how they can find you in case they want to train with you, know about business, learn about martial arts, Krav Maga, self-defense. What's the best way to find you?
Message me through my website, www.alabamafightclub.com. That's FIGHT, not Flight Club. Don't do Flight Club. That's a whole nother club. That's the planes. AlabamaFightClub.com. And you just message me if you want to talk about business. Tag in the line you've heard me through Empire Expanders. You can find me through social media, Facebook, Instagram. I got them both. Pretty sure if you look up Fight Club Fitness, you'll find me on there. Look for the octopus with the 8 boxing gloves. And yeah.
Oh, I love his logo. I still have to get a shirt. There's people at my gym that have a shirt and they show off with the octopus, like all the boxing gloves everywhere. It's awesome.
It makes that say how you know they're in the cool kid club.
I know I'm not in the cool kid club yet.
You got to buy into it.
Buy into it. That's another story about buying into the room with people. Okay, cool. Let me end this up now. If anyone wants to find me, just look at the link down below. Facebook's the best place to get a hold of me, Jason L. Regan. And if you're interested in learning more about short-term rentals, I just started a Facebook group called Salary to Stay. We'll also link that down below. It's a free Facebook group. It is private. Just join that one, enter the questions. I do weekly lives where I talk about short-term rentals, and we have value posts throughout the week so we can help you learn about short-term rentals, how to find them, how to run them. And of course, we have the Empire Expanders podcast that we're going to put out every week so you can see entrepreneurs, what they went through, and you can understand you can get through it too, and surround yourself with the right people to help lift you up to get you where you need to be. See y'all later.
Yep.
Thanks for hanging out with me today on Empire Expanders. Don't forget to subscribe and follow my social media channels for more insightful fun. Also, explore the links in the show notes. If you've enjoyed what you heard, giving us a 5-star rating would really help us out and be appreciated. Stay tuned for more on Empire Expanders.